Welcome to JMC V-Learning program. Today we are meeting you with a new lesson, that is grade 11 lesson. We have already done another part of this. So we are starting from this subtopic today. So the unit is unit 4 and the topic is for a better tomorrow. We have already done the first part of this lesson. So now today we are going to the second part of this lesson. The lesson is called Capitalization Rules. Capital. When we talk about capital, the word is very familiar with you. There are 20 letters in English alphabet and the letters are divided into two, like capital and simple. Why do we need those two as capital and simple? There are some reasons for that. Here today we are going to learn when we need these capital letters. Mostly when we are using these capital letters, we use both capital and simple letters when we are writing. But there are some important points when we use capital letters. So that lesson is called Capitalization Rule. When we are using capital letters, there are few situations that we are using capital letters. When I say capital or capitalization rule, what comes first to your mind? I'm sure the very first thing what comes to your mind is when we are starting a sentence, we have to write the capital letter as the first letter. Yes, that is the first point. Now we are going to talk in this lesson as well. When we are starting a sentence, the first letter must be in capital. That is very important. It should be a capital letter. The first letter of a sentence always starts from a capital letter. You can see here I have given an example. We are friends. When you see that sentence, we are friends, you can see that I have colored the first letter in yellow because the first letter I have colored in yellow because we are using that as a capital letter. Whenever, wherever you are starting a sentence, the very first letter you have to write in capital. So the first point or the first rule when the capitalization is used is when we are starting a sentence. Let's move to the second one. The first letter of a name. Names, that means proper noun. A particular name which we use to a particular person or a place or a country or a thing, whatever, if it is a proper noun or a name, we have to use the first letter as a capital letter. Here I have given an example. Kamal and Amal are best friends. Here you can see Kamal. I have started from capital letter and the word Amal or the name Amal is in the middle of the sentence. Even though we have written that in the middle of a sentence, we have to start the name using a capital letter. So when I am writing Kamal and Amal are best friends, I have to use capital letters when I am starting the names. So the first one when we use the capital letters is when we are starting a sentence. When we are starting a sentence, we know that we have to use a capital letter. The second one what we have learned here is when we are talking about or when we are writing proper nouns or names of people, places, things, those kind of things, we have to start from a capital letter. Right. Let's move to the third one. I. It's very familiar with you. I is one of a letter in the alphabet, as well as we use I as a pronoun. We use as a pronoun. So when we want to discuss about ourselves or myself, I can use it as I. So wherever we use I or wherever we write I, if we want to mention a person or if we are using I as a pronoun, you have to write it as a capital letter. Here, see the example. My friend and I go to school together. My friend and I go to school together. Here I have written the capital letter when I am starting the sentence. And here you can see I have written I as a capital letter. I have colored it in a separate color. Even though I is here in the middle of the sentence, we have to use it as capital. You can never use it like this. You can't use as simple I when you are telling about yourself or when you are using I as a pronoun. So, even though it is in the middle of a sentence, you have to write the capital letter. So, that is the third rule of capitalization what we are learning today. Then let us move to the fourth one, the fourth rule of capitalization. The days of the week and the months of the year. We know that there are 7 days of a week as well as there are 12 months of the year. So, whenever we are talking about these days of a week and the months of the year, we have to start them using a capital letter. Do you know why is that? Because these names are unique. One day has one separate name. One month has their own unique name. So, when we are writing that, that also comes under proper noun. So, when we are writing days of a week or months of the year, we have to write the first letter in capital. Here you can see some examples I have written. I have written May, June. So, those are January, December, those are months of the year. So, when I am writing those, here you can see I have used different color when I have started it, because we have to write the first letter in capital wherever we write them. Not only in the months, as we mentioned earlier, days of the week also we have to start from capital letter, like when you are writing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all those days, all the 7 days when you are writing that, you have to use the capital letter even though it is used in the middle of a sentence. Right. Now, we have already discussed about 4 rules of capitalization. Now, we are moving to the 5th one. Here you can see a word, titles. Titles. What are the titles we use to call people? You can use Miss, Mrs., Mr., Doctor. Those kind of titles are there. When you are writing something, a letter or even a sentence, wherever you mention these titles, you have to use the first letter as a capital letter. Here I have given 3 examples, Miss, Mrs. and Mr. And you can see I have colored all the first letters. Why? Because wherever we use these titles, we have to write the first letter in a capital letter. So, that is the 5th rule of capitalization, and we are moving to the 6th rule. The first letter of quoted sentence. Quoted sentence means something someone has said to someone. That's a sentence that someone has said to someone, we use them as quoted. That means direct speech. I think you have learned that in a previous lesson, direct and indirect speech. So, when someone is said a direct speech, to the part what he has quoted or when he has said it, we are using like this, quotation marks, and those are called quoted sentences. So, when you are starting a quoted sentence, the first letter should be capital there as well. You can see now the sentence is started in here. He said her. So, the first letter is he, and we have already written that in capital. But in the middle, I have started a quote. But there that someone has said to something, this part, you betray my trust. But there, even though I have written this in the middle, this is a quoted sentence, so that I have to start it using a capital letter. Right. Now, again let us go through these 6 parts. First one, when we are starting a sentence, we have to start writing a capital letter. Then the next one, when we are using proper nouns, we have to write or we have to start the word or the name starting a capital letter. Then when we are writing I, the pronoun I, you have to use capital even in a middle of a sentence. Then the 4th one, when we are writing the names of the days of the week and the names of the months of the year, you have to use capital letters when you are starting the name. Then when we are writing the titles, Miss, Mrs., Mr., Doctor, when we are writing those titles, the first letter must be in capital. You can never use it as a simple letter. Then the last one what we have learnt is the first letter of quoted sentence. In a direct speech, we are writing he said, he told, like that. Then after that we are starting a quoted sentence. So even this is started in the middle of a sentence, the first letter should be in a capital letter. So those are the 6 rules, capitalization rules, what we have learned. Right, we'll move to the next rule of capitalization. Names of bodies of water. Bodies of water, there are some special names for the water bodies in the world, like the Nile, Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean. We have given those water bodies a separate name, like a proper noun. So here names of water bodies also we can use capital letters if it is a proper noun. See the example. Sri Lanka is situated in the Indian Ocean. Here I have started the sentence Sri Lanka. That also a proper noun. So there also we have to start using capital letters. And not only that, here I have mentioned a name of a water body. So here we have given a separate name, a proper noun to this water body. So it is Indian Ocean. So you can see I have changed the color of these first 2 letters, that is Indian Ocean. So I and O should be in capital letters. So when we are writing bodies of water, the names of bodies of water, we have to write the first letter as a capital letter. Right, then we are moving to the next part. Names of the planets. There are 8 planets, and when we are writing the names of the planets, example like Earth, Mars, Venus, those kinds of names of the planets, the first letter should be in capital. Again, why is that? Because those 8 planets have their own separate names, so that we are using that as a proper noun. Then we have to start using a capital letter when we are writing about the planets. So not only Mars, even the Earth, Venus, all the planets, when you are writing that, the first letter should be in capital. You can see the example here. Mars is the closest planet to the Sun. Mars is the closest planet to the Sun. So not only now I have started this sentence using Mars, not because of that I have written here capital. Because this is a planet, definitely I have to use a capital letter when I am starting that, even it is in the middle of a sentence. Right, now we have learned 8 rules of capitalization. We have to learn 2 more rules. Let's move to those 2 as well. The 9th rule, what we are going to learn today. Names of the nationalities, languages and religions. Nationalities, now in Sri Lanka we can see few nationalities like Sinhalese, Tamils, Muslims, like that. So when we are talking about them, the nationalities of a country, Americans, British, like that, as well as when we are talking about languages, there are different languages. There are many languages in the world. English, Sinhala, Tamil, French, Spanish, those are few languages what we can use. So when we are talking about a language of a country, we have to start the first letter in capital. So the last one is in this part is religions. When there are religions, many religions as well, Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, Roman Catholic, like that. Then when we are talking about those religions, the first letter we have to write in capital. So let's go through this part again. When we are talking about the names of nationalities of a country, then languages of a country and religions of the country or in the world, these topic, when we are talking about these topics, the names when we are writing, we have to start using a capital letter. Here you can see the examples given. Indians, that is a nationality. Sri Lankans, that is a nationality. So you can write the first letter as capital. Then English. English is a subject. Oh, sorry, English is a language. So when we are talking about English as a language, the first letter should be capital. Then Buddhism. Buddhism is a religion. So when we are talking about Buddhism, we have to write the first letter in capital. Then Christianity, that is a religion again. When we are talking about that Christianity, we have to use the first letter as capital there as well. Right. Now we have already discussed 9 rules and we are coming to the last rule or the final rule. Names of government bodies. Name of government bodies, government office. When we are talking about them, the authorities, departments, we have to use the first name, first letter as a capital of that name. Here I have given an example, municipal council. Municipal council, here you can see I have changed the first letter color. Why? Because I have used capital letter. Wherever you use a name of a government body, you have to write the first letter in capital. Right. I hope that you got a proper idea about capitalization rule. Here we have discussed 10 rules and I hope that you got a proper idea regarding this topic. Now we have to apply this knowledge when we are doing an activity. Here we have an activity. You can see that rewrite the following essay with correct capitalization. Now here we have learned 10 capitalization rules and here in this activity we have to apply the rules what we have learned. You can see this passage. All the letters are in simple. Can we write a paragraph like that? All the letters in simple? No, you can't use like that because there are certain situations that we have to use capital letters as well. There are. So here what we have to do is in this activity, we have to go through this paragraph. There are 4 paragraphs. We can go through these paragraphs and we can find where mistakenly use simple letters, where we have to change it into capital letters and we can change them into capital letters. Right. Let's go through this first. Flying kites is a favorite pastime of mine. Pastime is a hobby. The reader's favorite pastime, hobby or the hobby of this person is flying kites. Not only is it enjoyable and exciting, it is also an environmentally friendly recreational activity. It takes us out of doors into the fresh air as well. Now, most of the children used to do their leisure activities in today, like just doing or playing a video game or watching movies, watching TV or their phones. So more than that, this kind of activity is good for children. So that's why it explains here like that. It takes us out of doors. You can't fly a kite inside a house, inside. So you have to go out. So you have to be with the environment and you can enjoy the environment as well. So here, this part, when we go through this part, let's find what are the capital letters we have to use and where mistakenly simple letters are used. You can see here flying kites. That is the start of the sentence or start of the whole paragraph. Here you can see the F was written in simple letter. So what you have to do is when you are starting a sentence, you have to write a capital letter. So here F should be written in capital. Flying kites is a favorite pastime of mine. Capital F should be there. Not only it is enjoyable. Now here also you can see we have finished the sentence here after keeping a full stop. Then after keeping a full stop means the next sentence is a new sentence. Then can we start it using a simple letter like this? No. The capitalization rule, when we go through the capitalization rule, we learn that we have to start a sentence using a capital letter. So here a full stop is here. So when we are starting the next sentence, we can't write that using a simple letter. So here we have to write not simple N, here we have to write capital N. Right. Then it is also an environmentally friendly recreational activity. Here you can see a comma. After a comma, can we start it using a capital letter? No, because this is not a full stop. So you can't start that using capital letter. So it should be there like a simple letter. So it is also an environmentally friendly recreational activity. Then again here you can see a full stop, and here it was written using simple I. Then there we have to change it. So here we can't write simple I after a full stop. So we have to write capital I here. It takes us out of doors into the fresh air as well. Right. Now here only these three we can see as the mistakes of the paragraph where we have to write capital letters. Right. Let's move to the second paragraph. Every year in July and in August, my friends Udaya, Rishan and I go to Panadura beach to fly kites. Here you can see many mistakes. Let's go through that. Here the sentence was started using a simple letter E. But can we write that in a simple letter? No, we have to write capital letter because that is the start of a sentence. So here we have to write capital E. Then every year in July. Here you can see a name of a month. Can we write simple letter when we are starting a name of a month? Can't. We went through the rules of capitalization and we have learned already when we are writing a name of a month, we have to write the first letter in capital. So here we can see 2 months. It's mentioned July and in August. Here August also they have started using simple letter. July J and August A. So we have to change both letters into capital. Here we have to write capital J when we are writing July, and here we have to write capital A when we are writing August. My friends Udaya, Rishan and I. Again we can see a mistake here. Here are some names. Udaya, Rishan. Those are proper nouns. So when we are writing proper nouns, we can't start the first letter using simple. So we have to change these simple letters into capital because those are proper nouns or names. So Udaya, we have to write U as a capital letter, and here Rishan, we can't write simple R, we have to write capital R there as well. Then we can see another mistake that also we have already learned. We can't write the pronoun I as a simple I. We have to use a capital I. So this also has to be changed into capital I. Go to Panadura beach. Again you can see another mistake here. See Panadura. That's a proper noun. That's a name of a place. So here they have started that using simple P, and I want to change that into capital P. Then Panadura beach to fly kites. So that sentence there are many mistakes. They have written many simple letters where we have to write capital letters. So we have already changed all those words. Then we make kites of various shapes and sizes. Here you can see a full stop. After the full stop, they have written a simple letter. It can't be happen. So here we have to write capital W. Then we make kites of various shapes and size. So that is the only mistake was done there. Then again, Udaya's uncle. Again we can see a name here, Udayas. Then they have written simple U, and that is a mistake. We have to change that into capital U because that is a rule of capitalization. Then Udaya's uncle, Mr. Pereira. What you can see here, Mr. Pereira, Mr. that is a title. We have already discussed if there is a title, we can't start that using simple letter. It should be capital. The first letter of a title must be in capital. So, Mr. Pereira, here we have to change simple M into capital M. And here again we can see Pereira, that is a name, that is a proper noun. So, here P was written as simple letter, again we have to change that into capital. Always helps us with our work. He is very good at making kites. Here you can see again full stop. A full stop is there, and the first letter is again in a simple letter. So we have to change that into capital again. There we have to write capital H. Here, he is very good at making kites. Now the second paragraph also okay. Then the third paragraph of the activity. Apart from flying kites, not only flying kites, right? Apart from flying kites, we enjoy looking at kites. Not only flying kites, even you are not flying a kite, you can just see the sky and enjoy flying other kites. So here, apart from flying kites, the first letter here, we are starting a sentence, but it was written as simple letter, so we have to write capital A. Apart from flying kites, here we can see a comma, so no need to make this letter into capital, we can keep that as a simple letter. We enjoy looking at kites. Then again a full stop. What you have to do is when we are starting this, you have to write capital I here. It is so exciting to see many colorful kites fluttering in the sky. Full stop. And started in a simple letter again, so we are going to change it into capital. We usually select Sundays. Sunday is a name of a day, one day of a week, and the S letter here is simple. Again we have to write that in capital. Sundays because that's when you can see the most beautiful collection. Again we can see a full stop, and this is the beginning of a sentence as well as this is a proper noun. Again we can't write this in simple letter, so this R we have to write in capital. Then that the Chinese believe, Chinese, that is a nationality. So we can't keep this C in a simple letter, so we have to change that into capital. Chinese believe that looking up at the kite improves your eyesight. Right. I think we are fortunate. Here I is the pronoun and you can't write it as a simple I. So we can turn this into capital letter. It must be a capital letter there. I think we are fortunate that Sri Lanka, name of a country, that means a proper noun. Here we can't keep S and L simple. So we have to change that into capital S as well as capital L here. Is an island surrounded by the Indian Ocean. Indian Ocean, a name of a water body. So Indian, we have given a separate name, a proper name for that water body, the ocean. So I we have to write in capital, then Indian Ocean, O also we have to write in capital. Then again we can see a full stop here, and when we are starting the new sentence, T should be in capital. That is why we have a plenty of wind to fly kite. Now we have gone through the whole paragraph and we have found all the mistake which was done in this paragraph, where the simple letters was written instead of capital letters, and we have found all the mistakes and we changed them into capital. So I guess that you got the idea while we are doing this part, and I hope that you can remember all the capitalization rules what we have learned here. From the next part, we are going to improve our knowledge about capitalization more than this. Right, we are going to discuss another activity, activity 13. Here also we are going to practice about capitalization. We are going to learn more things about capitalization. Here we have an activity and let's see what we have to do here. Rewrite the sentences using capitals where necessary. As the previous one, here the whole sentences has written using simple letters. We know that we can't use only simple letters when we are writing sentences. There are some certain situations we have to use capital letters. So here we'll go through these sentences and try to understand, try to find where we have to write capital letters instead of simple letters. The first sentence is, scientists have not yet found out if Mars holds favorable climatic conditions to support life on it. You can see the sentence was started using a simple letter. The sentence was started using simple S. We know under this capitalization rule, we can't start a sentence using a simple letter. So we have to change this simple S into capital S. So you can write capital S here when we are starting a sentence. Then when we are going through this sentence, you can see this word Mars. Mars is a name of a planet, that is a proper noun. So we can't write proper nouns using a simple letter. So here also we have to change this simple M into capital M. So we can see those two changes in this sentence, and let's move to the second sentence. The municipal council takes our garbage to recycling centers away every Saturday. The municipal council takes our garbage to recycling centers every Saturday. Here also the sentence was started using a simple letter, simple T. We can't start a sentence using simple T, so we have to change this T into capital T. Then municipal council, that's the name of a office or a department or authority under the government. So here also we can't start the names using simple letters. So we have to use these first letters, municipal M and council C into capital. So we have to write capital M here as well as capital C here. Then takes our garbage to recycling centers every Saturday. Saturday. The next proper nouns we can see here is Saturday. Saturday is a days of a week, one of the days of a week. So here we have to write the first letter in capital. So this was mentioned as simple S, so we have to change that into capital S. The last sentence. The river Nile, originated in East Africa, flows through many countries including Ethiopia and Egypt, empties its water into the Mediterranean Sea. Here you can see the first letter, as in the previous one, it was given as a simple letter. So here we are going to change it into capital. And river Nile, that is a water body, a name of a water body. So we have given a proper name, proper noun to this name. So we can't write this as a simple letter. So we have to change that into capital N. East Africa, that's the name of a country, a part of a country. So when we are talking about this E and A should be in capital. So we have to write those two letters in capital. Through many countries including Ethiopia and Egypt. Again we are talking about two countries. Those two are proper nouns again. So we can't write the first letter in simple. Then we can change these simple E's into capital again. It's water into the Mediterranean Sea. Again it's a water body, a name of a water body. So here it was mentioned as simple letter, simple M. So we are going to change into capital M. So these are the changes what we can do in these three sentences. I hope that you got an idea and you have a practice about this. You can find more sentences using internet or papers, and you can just find, or you can just try to practice where we have to use capital letters. Where they have mentioned capital letters, you can go through them and get more ideas when you read newspapers and magazines. So I hope that you can understand this part, and we can move to the next lesson. The new activity, the next activity what we are going to do is essay writing. When you are facing O-level examination, I think you have written, you have checked many papers, past papers. When you are going through those papers, I hope that you have seen there is a special place to essay writing. Yeah, they have given much mark for that, and from not only grade 11, from the beginning of the grade 6 to 11, or in the primary classes as well, we have written many essays. But when we are writing the essays earlier, just we can use a small topic, little topic, and you can write whatever you want. But when we are facing O-level in grade 11, grade 10 and 11, especially we have to focus the essay writing. We have to think more points, and we have to go through those points. There is a way of writing an essay because we have to score our marks. So here, when we are writing essay, when we are writing a normal essay even, we can see three parts of an essay. You can't just write all your ideas under the topic. You just imagine you were given a topic, and whatever you are thinking, what comes to your mind, just you can't write each and everything. You have to plan. You have to go in a format, under a format to write a proper essay. So here we are going to learn the main parts of an essay. So when you are writing an essay in this grade, you have to concern about all these three parts. So here the first one is introductory paragraph. When we are writing an essay, when the topic is given, first you have to read the topic properly. Because at once when you see the topic, you can't get the idea. You have to go through the topic properly, and you have to identify what they need, what the examiner need from you. Or when you are writing an essay, you have to go through the topic, and first you have to get an idea what you have to write. You can't just write all the things what come to your mind. So here, first when you are giving the introduction about the essay what you are writing, first you have to go through the topic properly, and you have to give the ideas what you are going to write. Then you can change to another paragraph, that is a body. That means after introducing, after the introductory of the first paragraph, you can write the special points of the essay. You can write another paragraph as a second paragraph, the body of the essay. Then finally, you can do the conclusion. So mainly you can use 3 paragraphs. If you want to make like more than 3 paragraphs, 4 or 5, that is okay. You can just go through these 3 topics, and you can make your, or you can create your essay. So here again, let's go through these 3 topics. First is introductory. First you have to introduce what you are going to write. Then the body of the paragraph, the important points, the main points regarding the topic, then the conclusion. Let's go to a topic. Here you can see a topic, that is an essay topic. So here you can see it as healthy habits to improve focus. So when you see this topic, if you get that idea you have to talk about healthy habits, that is not the idea given here. Here you have to think or write about healthy habits to improve focus. What are the healthy habits you have to improve? So if you have written all the healthy habits you know in your life, that is not enough. You have to write the healthy habits and how you have to improve and how you have to focus on that. So here we have divided the essay into 3 parts as we discussed earlier. The introduction, essay body, and the conclusion. So when we are giving the introduction about healthy habits to improve focus, here you can just target these healthy habits. When you are giving the introductory, you can just write about healthy habits. What are healthy habits? In the introduction, you can just explain about the healthy habits. What are the healthy habits you know? What are the healthy habits you have practiced? From your little age to now until you are dying, we have to follow some healthy habits. So you can mention, you can imagine, you can just go through some healthy habits like washing your hands before eating and after eating, washing your hands after using the washroom, and brush your teeth twice a day. So like that, there are some health habits you can use, not to bite your nails, like that. So first of all, you have to memorize what are the healthy habits you can follow, and you can give an introduction what are healthy habits. Then after giving the introduction, you can change into the next paragraph, and here the essay body was divided into many parts. As I said to you earlier, in the body, in the essay body, you can mention different parts, different criteria about the topic. So here, after giving an introduction about healthy habits, we can divide the essay body into few parts. Here we can see it as define healthy habits. Now here we have mentioned, we have given an introduction about healthy habits. What is a healthy habit? What do we mean by healthy habit? Then you can give some example, define healthy habits, you can explain them. Washing hands mean what? What you have to use when you are washing hands, like that. So you can define healthy habits. What are the things you have to follow and how you can do them. Then analyze effect. When you do these healthy habits, when you follow the healthy habits given, what are the effects you can get? What are the benefits you can get? So first we have introduced what is healthy habits, what do we mean by healthy habits, then we have defined healthy habits, these are the healthy habits what we can follow, then we can analyze the effects. When we follow those healthy habits, what we can get. Then compare habits, healthy versus unhealthy. Why we are talking about healthy habits? Because definitely there are some unhealthy habits. Because when we are talking about washing hands before eating and after eating, using soap when we are washing hands, brushing teeth twice a day, those kind of things we call healthy habits. That means when we are not following those things, automatically they are coming under unhealthy habits. Unhealthy, those are not good for your body. Then you can just compare those two. These are the healthy habits, but when we are not following those things, they are coming under unhealthy habits. So when we are not following those things, we are becoming unhealthy. So you can give a small introduction explanation about that as well. Then you can provide examples. What are the healthy habits and unhealthy habits? When you follow the healthy habits, what can be happen if you are not following them? Then what is happening to us? So you can write all those details in a paragraph, or you can divide that into 2 paragraphs and you can explain all these points. Then finally you can give the conclusion, choices we make. Sometimes it is not a must. You can follow all these health habits, or you can't, you may not. If you want, you can follow them. If you don't like, it's not a problem, but it affects to you. So you can write here, choices we make. We have to follow them. If not, what will happen? Then beliefs we have. When we are following some healthy habits, there are some beliefs. So you can mention them as well. When we are creating this, you can just point out these parts first, then you can create the essay. Then finally, actions we take. If we have to follow these steps, what are the actions we can do? If someone is not following these things, what we can get? So like that, you can write about the actions we take. Like that, when we were given a topic like this, healthy habits to improve focus, not only this, any other topics like let's protect our environment, those kinds of topics can be given. So if we were given something like that, first you can divide the topic into 3, like introduction, essay body and conclusion. Then you can point out what are the special points you want to write under these 3 topics. Then you can make the essay. You know that when we are writing an essay, maybe they are asking about 250 words, 200 words. So counting those words again and again is useless. You are wasting time. If you are planning, if you have already planned how to write the essay under these topics, it's very easy you to make the essay regarding the words they have asked. So, like that, when you are writing an essay, first you can go through these 2-3 topics. After that, you can write the main points and you are able to make the essay. And another thing is there, when you are writing an essay, you have to concern about your handwriting. Your handwriting should be clear and neat. When you are writing the words, when you are writing the sentences, you can't write jumbled letters. You have to write clean and clear letters, beautiful letters, and you have to divide the paragraphs. You can't just write as one paragraph. The whole essay can't be written as a one paragraph. You have to divide it into paragraphs. When you are making the paragraphs, you have to follow these 3 topics, and you must follow grammar rules as well. When you are writing about a topic, you have to think the tenses. You have to think about the grammar part of the essay. When you are writing something, or when you are writing an essay, thinking about all these things, you can get more marks.